The sun was setting over the city, casting a warm orange glow over the streets and buildings. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers and the sound of birds singing their evening songs. In a small square, a beautiful statue stood tall, its golden leaves and precious stones glinting in the fading light. This was the Happy Prince, a statue of a prince with a heart of gold. The Happy Prince had been watching over the city for many years, seeing all the joy and sadness that came with everyday life. He had noticed the poor and the hungry, the sick and the lonely. His heart ached with compassion for them, and he wished he could help. But he was just a statue, unable to move or speak. As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, a small swallow perched on the Happy Prince's shoulder. The swallow had flown from a faraway land, seeking refuge from the cold and the rain. He was tired and hungry, but the Happy Prince's warm and kindly face made him feel welcome. "Who are you, little bird?" the Happy Prince whispered, his voice barely audible. "I am a swallow," the bird replied, "and I am on a journey to a warmer land. I was separated from my flock in a storm, and now I am alone." The Happy Prince listened carefully, his eyes filled with concern. "You are not alone now, little swallow," he said. "You may stay with me until you are ready to continue your journey." The swallow was grateful for the Happy Prince's kindness. He told the prince about his travels, about the beautiful landscapes he had seen and the wonderful creatures he had met. The Happy Prince listened, his heart filled with wonder and curiosity. As the night wore on, the swallow grew sleepy, and the Happy Prince gently suggested that he rest. The swallow snuggled into the warmth of the Happy Prince's shoulder, feeling safe and protected. The prince wrapped his golden cloak around the bird, shielding him from the cool night air. As the city grew quieter, the Happy Prince began to think about all the people who were suffering, who were hungry and cold and alone. He wished he could help them, but he was just a statue. The swallow, sensing the prince's sadness, looked up at him with big, round eyes. "Do not worry, dear prince," he said. "I will help you. Together, we can make a difference." The Happy Prince smiled, feeling a sense of hope and possibility. And as the night deepened, the prince and the swallow sat together in comfortable silence, watching the stars twinkle to life in the sky. The city was peaceful now, the only sound the distant hum of crickets and the soft rustle of leaves in the trees. The Happy Prince and the swallow sat in stillness, enjoying the beauty of the night. The prince's golden leaves glinted in the moonlight, and the swallow's feathers shone with a soft, silky glow. It was a magical moment, a moment of perfect peace and contentment. As the night wore on, the swallow's eyes grew heavy, and he began to drift off to sleep. The Happy Prince watched over him, his heart filled with kindness and compassion. He was grateful for the swallow's company, and he knew that together they would do great things. The city was quiet now, the only sound the soft breathing of the swallow and the gentle beating of the Happy Prince's heart. The night air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers, and the moon cast a silver glow over the city. The happy prince and the swallow sat together, enjoying the peacefulness of the moment. As the swallow slept, the happy prince's thoughts turned to the people of the city, and he wondered how he could help them. He thought about the hungry children, the sick and the lonely, and his heart ached with compassion. Just then, a gentle breeze rustled the leaves of the trees, and a small piece of paper floated down to the ground. The happy prince picked it up, and to his surprise, it was a letter. The letter was from a poor woman who lived in a small house on the other side of the city. She wrote about her struggles to feed her children, and how she had lost her job due to illness. The happy prince's heart went out to her, and he knew he had to help. He looked at the swallow, who was still sleeping, and he whispered, "Little one, I think I have found a way for us to make a difference." The swallow stirred, and the happy prince showed him the letter. The swallow read it, and his eyes filled with tears. "We must help her," he said. "But how?" The happy prince thought for a moment, and then he smiled. "I have an idea," he said. "My golden leaves are very valuable, and if we were to give one to the poor woman, it would help her to buy food for her children." The swallow's eyes widened in surprise, but then he nodded in agreement. Together, they carefully removed one of the happy prince's golden leaves, and the swallow flew off into the night to deliver it to the poor woman. As the swallow flew, the city came alive with the sound of his wings beating against the air. The stars twinkled above, and the moon cast a silver path for him to follow. He flew over the rooftops, and the wind rushed past him, carrying the scent of blooming flowers. The swallow felt free and alive, and he knew that he was doing something important. He arrived at the poor woman's house, and he dropped the golden leaf onto her windowsill. The woman woke up to find the leaf, and she was overjoyed. She sold the leaf and bought food for her children, and they ate a warm meal together. The woman was grateful, and she prayed for the happy prince and the swallow, thanking them for their kindness. As the night wore on, the swallow returned to the happy prince, and they sat together in comfortable silence. The city was peaceful, and the only sound was the distant hum of crickets and the soft rustle of leaves in the trees. The happy prince and the swallow watched the stars twinkle to life in the sky, and they felt happy and content. They knew that they had made a difference, and that they would continue to help those in need. The swallow snuggled into the warmth of the happy prince's shoulder, feeling safe and protected. The happy prince wrapped his golden cloak around the bird, shielding him from the cool night air. As they sat together, the happy prince thought about all the other people they could help, and he smiled, feeling a sense of hope and possibility. The night was still, and the city was quiet, but the happy prince and the swallow were filled with a sense of purpose, and they knew that they would face the future together, as friends. The night wore on, and the stars shone brighter in the sky. The happy prince and the swallow sat together, watching the world slow down. The crickets' hum grew softer, and the leaves' rustle became a gentle whisper. The city's sounds faded away, one by one, until there was only silence. The happy prince's thoughts turned to the poor woman and her children, now warm and full, thanks to their kindness. He smiled, feeling a sense of peace wash over him. The swallow, sensing his calm, nestled deeper into the warmth of the happy prince's shoulder. As they sat there, the moon rose higher in the sky, casting a silver glow over the city. The buildings, the streets, and the trees all seemed to be bathed in a soft, gentle light. The happy prince's golden cloak shimmered in the moonlight, and the swallow's feathers looked like they were made of the finest silver. The world was full of beauty, and the happy prince and the swallow felt grateful to be a part of it. They sat in comfortable silence, enjoying the stillness of the night. The hours passed, and the city grew quieter. The stars twinkled like diamonds in the sky, and the moon was like a lantern, guiding all who lived in the city through the darkness. The happy prince's thoughts turned to the future, and all the good they could do. He knew that he and the swallow would continue to help those in need, spreading kindness and joy wherever they went. The swallow, sensing the happy prince's thoughts, looked up at him with shining eyes. "We make a good team, don't we?" he said. The happy prince smiled, and his voice was barely above a whisper. "Yes, little one, we do." As the night wore on, the world slowed down even more. The moon reached its peak in the sky, and the stars shone with a soft, gentle light. The happy prince and the swallow sat together, surrounded by the peacefulness of the night. The city was still, and the only sound was the soft beating of the swallow's heart. The happy prince's golden cloak wrapped around the bird, keeping him warm and safe. The swallow's eyes grew heavy, and he snuggled deeper into the happy prince's shoulder. The happy prince's eyes, too, began to close, and he felt himself drifting off to sleep. The world was quiet, and the night was still. The moon shone down, casting a silver glow over the city. The stars twinkled like diamonds in the sky, and the happy prince and the swallow slept, surrounded by the peacefulness of the night. The city was at rest, and all was well. The happy prince's heart was full of joy and kindness, and the swallow's heart was full of love and gratitude. They slept, surrounded by the beauty of the world and the stillness of the night. The darkness was soft and gentle, and the silence was deep and peaceful. The happy prince and the swallow slept, and the world was at peace.